on with this one, but first and foremost, I want to say call out Yahweh Shem Yahushai. I had to write this down, man. I had to say it was all praises to the Father in the name of the Son. I also want to say Yahweh Shem Yahushai Barakatah Most High in Christ, but I'm gonna obviously go into the scripture, but this one, man, because it was kind of like crazy surrection. Um, it was crazy what happened, man. Yeah, second address. I'm just gonna get it really quick. Second address, right? 16 and 70. I just want to get this verse real quick, and then I'm gonna go into what happened, man. Cause well, not what happened, but what was seen in the night, man. How it compares to some of the scriptures that come to mind when I'm reading them. Because this dream, man, was a wild one, man. So, basically last night, man, it was definitely a prophetic dream. I gotta go to computer. Deal with this, right? Okay, so, just to give a setting and explanation of what's going on here, right? So this is my city here, Niagara Falls, right? This road here is Porter's Road, right? Dream occurred in this location. This is Trot or the Niagara Falls DMV. Maybe it's here. It gotta be here, right? Because the tops is there. There we go, right? So, um, it's gonna give me a bunch of detailed descriptions of the things that happened, right, and how they occurred. I'm not seeing it showing everything I need, right? But Tops is here. It was across the street from the Tops, what's it called, the supermarket or whatever, at the Trap building where the DMV was located, right? So this is very important for the dream, right? And keep in mind, this is Portage Road going down here, and I ended up past this point to down here, right? Let me just go to this area here. So I went down this street here to this area here, and then in this here, right? This area here, there's like a park, and this is just me setting up the scene for my dreams, like, and it was exact, man. Things that I'll be mentioning is happening over in this area, um, but yeah. So just laying out the blueprint or the map for what happened in the dream, man. This was all in the dream, and I seen it like it was like I was actually living in it, man. So with that being said, that's the settings of it. So it was basically an insurrectionist rebelling against the system. It was police officers all over the scene, man. And then some like the J6ers, January Sixers. It was just like that. A bunch of white men, right, with long rifles and assault rifles on the scene, letting their guns go, right, shooting and basically trying to take down people around them, right, mostly black people, right. So and this was a dream, right. So like I said, it was started at the Tribe building where I pointed out, right, and basically the main thing of my dream was I was laying on the ground, and I wasn't laying on the ground for my safety or because I was worried about getting shot. I had a pistol in my hand with a foresight on it, pointed at this one dude. He was a special needs dude, and the funniest part about the dream last night, man, was this special needs dude. He kept on shooting his AR-15 in the air and not meaning to do it accidentally, man. Right? So he kept on shooting in the air, and the police wasn't really worried about him because he was special needs for some reason, and because of course he was white, man. Right? So that just kept on happening. Right? He actually probably shot off the AR maybe like 3 or 4 times, man, and he didn't mean to do it, right? And then so I kind of covered that, right? But they was more focused on the other men in the area with ARs and things of that nature, right? Because they didn't see him as a problem, right? And as this dream keep on going on, man, he drops a little bit of claymore, I guess the clay bomb that falls out of your pockets or whatever, or well, I guess it don't fall out, but it's like this is what they use and they detonate it, man. So he dropped it and it blew up next to him, but it wasn't big enough to cause a huge explosion, man. Right, and then the cops ain't even worried about that. They still worry about the other men in the area. As this dude is firing off in the air, man. Right, and then he had on a bulletproof vest, man. And this is like the special needs that this dude had was probably Down syndrome or something, man. Right, and he still had that hatred in his heart to do this type of thing. That's just a dream, though, man. Right, he still had that in his heart though to carry out the insurrection or whatever that the rest of these people was doing, man. Right, so he opened up his bulletproof vest he had on, and then a big C4, it was huge, like a huge amount of it came out of his vest, and he threw it on the ground, right? And he started saying, "This is large enough to blow up a 3 mile radius." Um, and then I got up and I ran away from that. And in this area, right? Let me go back to this map, right? I was towards the top of this area, right? And this parking lot is a parking lot here, right? I wish I could get a street view of this for real, for real. Um, well, I guess I could open this. Let me see here. Can I get? Can I get a street view? It's not trying to show me the good stuff here. There we go. So you can see this building here, right? If it clears up, this is a parking lot. Here's the parking lot. So we was in this parking lot, and I was laying like on the sidewalk going here. Hopefully it clear up a little bit. There we go. Right, so I was laying. Well, maybe we wasn't in the parking lot because the parking lot was over here. We was in front of the building, and I was like right here, right. So when the C4 came out of his pocket, or the he was getting ready to detonate, I got up and I ran down this way. As I'm running down this way, where I get to about this area, I see um, green beams coming out from the gun, pointing in my direction, and they shooting guns going off all in my dreams, man. Right, and you're just hearing it, and I'm bullets flying by me, right, as I'm running down the street to get through this park right here. This is a park right here, right, as you can see the landmark right there on this, right? And this is a dream, man, but this is exactly how the dream panned out. I'm running through this, going this way, and then I cross the street diagonally here to get into this park. Now, at the end of this park here, right, it's a gate right here where this kind of opening is, and going in this way. So it's a gate right there. It's not an open and closed gate, but it's like an opening, and they had this caution taped off, right? And for some reason, I'm not worried about the caution tape. I'm worried about the people back here shooting, trying to take me out, right? And then this parking lot and things of that nature, right? So I'm getting through there, and then um, this is where things kind of get a little different, right? Because in dreams, things get warped and altered, right? So this is actually a telephone company um, that ain't existing no more, right? But this where I ran into, and it was repurposed. Like this Niagara City Lofts over here is repurposed for. This was an old high school. It's repurposed now for housing. So that was the same thing and same nature of this building here. So I went in through a door here. It's not even actually a door over here, right? But I went in through a door over here, and well, no, somebody came outside and told me, "Hey man, come help me, right? I need your help." And then when we get in there, or maybe it was when I got in there, right? That the dude said, hey, come here, help us, right? And it was a white dude, and he was basically the door of this building too. It was shot out. The lock was shot out. Two bullets holes in the top and bottom of the where the lock was, and so I went into there to help the dude, and um, basically at this time, man, when we went into his room, his wife or his girlfriend, I didn't get that information, but she was giving birth at that moment, right? So that's my dream, right? I wake up at that point when I figure out she about to have a son, right? That's boom, woke up, right? So this dream had a lot to it, right? But the one thing I really want to say, man, right? It says, for their second address 16 and 70, for there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. These men was trying to take out and were actively taking out black folks, right? Let's just look up, right? What insurrection is. And it says insurrection against those that fear the Lord, right? And insurrection is a violent, organized revolt or uprising by a group of people against an established government or civil authority. It differs from a simple protest because it involves active, often armed opposition to political power or enforcement of laws, right? So in my dream, man, these people were armed and active, shooting, letting off bombs and things of that nature, trying to destroy the system that be, man, right? And if we jump up a verse, right, verse 69, and they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and in reproach and trodden underfoot, man, right? So they was trying to take people out, man, right? And it's crazy because this is what we're gonna see coming soon, man, right? Um, let's go to I think it's Daniel. Let's not even go there. It's Daniel. I think it's one, but I'm not sure. Right? It's not one. I know it's Daniel though. Daniel had a dream. Um, right. So Daniel 4. Right. So this Daniel 4, and it don't really apply as much as I would think, but it's good to have this, right. It's a faith booster, I should say, right? Daniel 4 and 5, it says, I saw a dream which made me afraid, and the thoughts upon my bed and the visions of my head troubled me, man, right? And I wasn't troubled for this dream, man, but this is just how it happens, man. Sometimes you have these dreams, right? And this was actually Nebuchadnezzar who had the dream, right? But I had this dream, and that's why it didn't trouble me, man, because I know that it had something to do with the spirit, man, right? Things of this nature is the Lord showing us, hey, man, this was coming, man. This is how it happens, man. We dream visions of the night. Sometimes these dreams are vain, but when you go into the scripture and you seeing these things in the scripture, and then it's appearing to you in dreams, man, you like, oh yeah, this is of the Lord, man, right? I don't come to YouTube or my channels with anything that's just an everyday dream. Like I have dreams probably 4 or 5, 6, 7 times a week sometimes, man. Right? Sometimes 3 times in a night, cause I'll be waking up, going back to sleep, waking up, going back to sleep, man. Right? And last night was one of those nights where I just had one dream, and that was the main one, and I wrote it down once I woke up, and I remember everything from the dream, just because it's one of those type of dreams, man. Right? The Lord put on certain men's spirit, man. Right? To have these things, right? But also, right, not all dreams are man, I put in the wrong thing. Right? Not all dreams are prophetic, man, right? Um Let me see, let's just go here. I'm just gonna touch base on this, right? Just because this is gonna be a short one. But I have another lesson I'm gonna most likely do. Um, it's seeming like it's rain tomorrow, so probably tomorrow in place of camp. But This is Sirach chapter 4, verse 34, verse 5. It says, divinations and soothsayings and dreams are vain, and the heart fancieth as a woman's heart in travail, man. So we got to understand that all dreams are sent by the Most High. Because if you keep on going, and I didn't even show it, that was verse 5 right there. I want to pause the video and then look at it, right? But then verse 6, it says, if they be not sent from the Most High in thy visitation, set thine heart not upon them, right? For dreams have deceived many, and they have failed that put their trust in them, man, right? So when you have dreams, man, you can't be like, oh yeah, I dreamed of hitting 100,000. Like I had dreams like that before, man, right? And I had dreams of a bunch of things, man. But when I have dreams like this, man, sometimes they stick with you, right? And I had my head on this as I'm sitting here mixing some music and everything on this album I'm working out. Babylon has fallen, September 11th, all streaming platforms, right? But it's still out here, right? But hey, man, that's how it be, man. The Lord will give you dreams and the visions in the night, man, and you gotta take heed to these things, especially when they have the nature of like the first vision of the night video I did, man. It was about, I can't remember it. It was that long ago, but I could go back to the YouTube channel, and it was actually I do remember it, which is a dream from months ago, man, or maybe weeks ago. I don't know. It might have been 2 months ago I had this dream, but it was a dream about thermonuclear missiles hit, man, right? And on my album, right? I'm sorry to do this. On my album, I got some that's painting the imagery, kind of the things that's gonna happen when we see a nuclear missile getting ready to hit America, man. And that is on the first song of the album, right? But hey, man, I gotta get my little promo in there, right? You gotta understand, man. These things is gonna come, man, right? And we see in the visions in the night. Sometimes they vain, but sometimes they be like, dang, man, that's about to really happen, man, because the Lord give His signs to his sons and his daughters, right? So hold on, wait. Let me see here, right? Let me go here. I should know this one, but I don't. Right, so Joel chapter 2, verse 28, it says, and it shall come to pass afterwards that I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, and your old men shall dream dreams, and your young men shall see visions, right? So this is what's happening, man. And also upon the servants, upon the handmaids in those days will I pour out my spirit. So the Lord is actually coming and putting these visions and dreams in the men and the women of the Lord, man, right? Confess these dreams, get them on YouTube and on the different platforms, man, because it's real, man, right? When you have dreams like this, not of like, oh, well, I had a dream that I hit $1 million, nah, right? That's just not it, man. But like when you have dreams that aren't vain and ain't about, oh, I have 30 wives in my dream or things of that nature, which happens, right? I had a dream that I had 3 wives one time. I had a dream that I had 6 wives one time in a dream. But that ain't as prophetic as these type of dreams, man. The Lord sent us these dreams so that we could spread them to the nation, right? Don't keep these dreams hidden and closed in a book or something like that, man. Tell them to the world, man, because this could be warning from the Most High that time is almost up, man. Right? Prepare yourselves or get ready for these people to start doing ultimately what they gonna do and come up against the children of the Lord, man. Right? That's all I gotta say about it, man, because it's on the way, right? Destruction is imminent, right? Insurrection is on the way, man, right? They have their meetings, they have their secret councils, man, where they planning to do these things, man. If you don't believe that these nations is conspiring to take out the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you out your damn mind, right? They already did it with ICE, right? With the Hispanics and some of the blacks, man, right? And some of their natives was affected by it as well, man, right? And The government is clearly trying to whitewash history right now by removing writings of people like Martin Luther King and Marcus Garvey. If I'm not mistaken, that might not have been Marcus Garvey, but it was Frederick Douglass, right? And removing from the history books the Native American history, the history of the Native Americans, right? They doing these things, man. They trying to make it seem like, oh yeah, this country was always there, and they were never going to cease to exist. So we need to be prepared and ready for what they got coming, man. Right. So with that, I want to say shalom, how about Shimmy, Al Shai Barakatah, and Kwame Israel, right?